A chimpanzee just beat 100 adult humans in a memory test. A crow used 3 different tools, in the correct order, to solve a puzzle it had never seen before. And an octopus escaped from a locked tank in the middle of the night and came back before morning so nobody would notice. These are not stories. These are real scientific experiments. Today, we count down the top 10 most intelligent animals in the world. Stay until number 1, because what you will see there will completely change how you think about intelligence. Let's begin. At number 10, we have the brown rat. And before you scroll away, hear this. Rats have been trained to sniff out landmines buried underground, faster and more accurately than any machine humans have ever built. They have also been trained to detect tuberculosis in human patients. 70% accuracy. Now tell me, does that sound like a dirty, simple animal? In lab experiments, rats navigate complex mazes and remember the correct path after just a few tries. But what is even more impressive is this. If one rat learns that something is dangerous, it communicates that to other rats in the group. They warn each other. They protect each other. Brown rats can survive in cities, fields, sewers, and frozen environments. They adapt faster than almost any other creature on Earth. Small brain, massive intelligence. That is why the brown rat is number 10 on our list. At number 9, we have the border collie. A dog named Chaser knew the individual names of 1,022 different objects. Scientists would place dozens of toys in a room and ask Chaser to bring a specific one by name, and she got it right every single time. But border collies are not just good at memorizing names, they understand grammar. If you change the order of words in a sentence, they notice the difference and respond differently. On farms, a single border collie can control an entire flock of hundreds of sheep, using only eye contact and body movement. No commands, no shouting, just pure intelligence and focus. Once a border collie decides to do something, nothing in the world can distract it. That level of focus and understanding is the reason the border collie is number 9 on our list. But the next animal on our list does not even have a spine. And it might be smarter than your pet dog. At number 8, we have the octopus. No bones, no social group, no mother to teach it anything. The octopus is completely alone from the moment it is born, and yet it figures everything out by itself. In one experiment, an octopus was placed in a tank with a glass jar containing food. Shut. Within minutes, it unscrewed the jar and ate the food. Nobody taught it. It reasoned through the problem alone. And here is what makes the octopus brain truly unique, and 2/3 of its neurons are not in its brain at all. They are spread across its 8 arms. Each arm can think, feel, and react independently. The octopus is basically 8 small brains connected to one central brain. Octopuses have also been seen carrying coconut shells across the ocean floor, saving them to use as shelter later. That is planning for the future. From an animal with no parents, no teachers, and a lifespan of only 2 years. That is why the octopus is number 8 on our list. Now, what if a bird was smarter than most mammals? Let's find out. At number 7, we have the parrot. Forget everything you think you know about parrots, just copying words. A single African gray parrot named Alex changed the entire field of animal intelligence research. For 30 years, scientist Dr. Irene Pepperberg studied Alex. Alex could identify 50 different objects, 7 colors, 5 shapes, and quantities up to 8. One day, Dr. Pepperberg showed Alex a tray of objects and asked, "How many blue blocks?" Alex looked at the tray and answered correctly. Then, she asked, "What color is the round object?" Alex answered again, correctly. But the moment that shocked every scientist in the room, when asked what was the same between 2 objects, Alex said none. He understood the concept of zero, something that took human children thousands of years of civilization to develop as a concept. Alex passed away in 2007. His last words to Dr. Pepperberg were, "You be good. I love you." That is why the parrot is number 7 on our list. But the next bird on our list does something even more shocking. It holds funerals. At number 6, we have the crow. Scientists gave a crow a puzzle with 8 steps. To get the food at the end, the crow had to complete all 8 steps in the correct order. It had never seen this puzzle before. It solved it on the first try. But tool use is not even the most impressive thing about crows. Crows remember human faces. If you look at a crow the wrong way, it will remember your face for years. It will warn other crows about you. Those crows will warn their children about you. One researcher in Seattle wore a mask while disturbing crow nests for a study. Months later, when he walked around campus without the mask, he was completely safe. The moment he put the mask back on, crows from across the entire campus came and dive-bombed him. They remembered the mask. They communicated the threat across an entire crow community. Crows have also been observed gathering around their dead, standing quietly, in what scientists now call crow funerals. They process death. They feel loss. A bird with a brain the size of a walnut, doing things that would impress any human. That is why the crow is number 6 on our list. Coming up, a bird so intelligent it can think about tomorrow. Literally. At number 5, we have the raven. Here is a question. Can you resist eating a cookie right now if it means you get a full cake tomorrow? Most adults can do this. Most young children cannot. Ravens can. In a famous experiment, ravens were shown a tool that could be used the next day to get food. They were then offered an immediate reward, food right now, as a distraction. Most ravens chose to keep the tool and wait for the bigger reward tomorrow. They gave up something real and immediate for something better in the future. This is called delayed gratification, and it is considered one of the highest signs of intelligence. Ravens also understand fairness. If 2 ravens do the same task and one gets a worse reward, the one with the worst reward gets upset and refuses to work. They have a sense of justice. In the wild, ravens work in pairs. One distracts the prey while the other attacks. Planned, coordinated, strategic. That is why the raven is number 5 on our list. But the next animal on our list has a memory so powerful, it never forgets a face, ever. At number 4, we have the elephant, the largest brain of any land animal on Earth. And elephants use every single part of it. Elephants recognize themselves in mirrors, a sign of self-awareness that only a handful of species on the entire planet possess. They mourn their dead. When a member of their group dies, elephants gather around the body. They touch it gently with their trunks. They stand there quietly for hours. And years later, sometimes decades later, they return to that exact spot and stand there again. They remember. They grieve. Elephants also show empathy in ways that feel deeply human. If a baby elephant is crying, older elephants walk over and touch it gently to comfort it. If an elephant in the group is injured, others slow down so it can keep up. Nobody teaches them to do this. It comes naturally. In the wild, elephants have been seen using sticks as tools, dropping rocks on electric fences to break them, and even mimicking the sounds of trucks and other elephants they heard years ago. One elephant in a sanctuary learned to mimic the sound of Korean words she heard from her keeper, just to connect with him. An elephant never forgets, and an elephant never stops feeling. That is why the elephant is number 4 on our list. Now, what if an animal had its own language, complete with names for each individual? Let's talk about dolphins. At number 3, we have the dolphin. Dolphins call each other by name. Every dolphin develops a unique whistle within its first few months of life. Other dolphins use that specific whistle to call that individual, like a name. This is the only known example in the animal world, other than humans, of individuals having personal names for each other. Dolphins understand sign language instructions given in a specific order. They know the difference between bring the ball to the person and bring the person to the ball. Word order, grammar, understanding. Dolphins in Australia have been observed teaching their babies to use sea sponges to protect their noses while hunting on the rough ocean floor. The mothers teach this skill. The babies learn it. The babies teach their own children later. Cultural knowledge passed across generations, exactly like humans pass down traditions and skills. Dolphins also show something rare. They help animals outside their own species. There are documented cases of dolphins protecting drowning humans, guiding lost whales back to sea, and even forming hunting partnerships with local fishermen. They choose to help, not because they want to. That is why the dolphin is number 3 on our list. And the next animal hunts in a way so intelligent, it feels like watching a military operation. At number 2, we have the orca. Every pod of orcas has its own language, not just sounds, an actual dialect that is different from other pods. Baby orcas spend years learning their pod's dialect from their mothers, the same way human children learn language from their parents. If you took an orca from one pod and placed it with another, it would not fully understand their dialect. Different language, different culture. Orcas hunt in ways that look like they were planned in a military briefing room. One famous technique, called wave washing, involves a group of orcas swimming in perfect coordination to create a massive wave that knocks seals off floating ice. Every orca in the group has a specific role: scouts, wave makers, blockers, attackers, all working together, all knowing their job. Orcas have also been observed teaching younger orcas how to hunt by intentionally beaching themselves near seal colonies and showing young orcas how to do it safely. The teacher beaches itself, shows the technique, then helps the young one get back into the water. That is not instinct. That is education. And the bond between an orca and its mother, it lasts the entire lifetime of both animals. Sons who lose their mothers have significantly shorter lifespans. The emotional connection is that powerful. That is why the orca is number 2 on our list. And now, number 1. The animal that shares 98.7% of our DNA and in one test made every human in the room feel humble. At number 1, the chimpanzee. In a lab in Japan, a young chimpanzee named Ayumu sat in front of a screen. Numbers 1 to 9 appeared on the screen, scattered randomly, for less than 1 second. Then they disappeared, replaced by blank white squares. Ayumu touched the squares in perfect numerical order, from memory. Then scientists made it harder. The numbers appeared for only 0.2 seconds, a flash. Barely visible to the human eye. Ayumu still got it right, every time. The same test was given to university students, memory champions, and trained professionals. Most of them could not get past 4 or 5 numbers. Ayumu got all 9. Consistently. But memory is just the beginning. Chimpanzees make tools. They select specific sticks, trim them to the right size, and use them to extract termites from mounds. They use rocks as hammers to crack nuts, and they choose the right weight and size of rock for the job. Some have been observed sharpening sticks and using them as weapons. Chimpanzees learn from each other. Different chimpanzee communities have different techniques. And young chimpanzees learn by watching elders, exactly the way human children learn in school. They feel every emotion humans feel: joy, grief, jealousy, compassion. There are documented cases of chimpanzees sitting beside a grieving friend for hours, doing nothing but being present. Not because they were taught to, because they felt it was right. Chimpanzees have learned sign language and used it to have real conversations with humans. One chimpanzee named Washo even taught sign language to her own son, without any human involvement. A mother teaching her child a language she learned from another species. 98.7% of our DNA, and sometimes 100% of our heart. That is why the chimpanzee is number 1, the most intelligent animal in the world after humans. So, there you have it. From a rat that detects diseases to a chimpanzee that beats humans in memory tests. Intelligence is not just a human thing. It is everywhere. In the ocean, in the sky, in the forest, and even in the streets. The question is, are we paying attention? Drop a comment below. Which animal shocked you the most? And if this video made you see the world a little differently, share it with someone who needs to see it too. We will see you in the next one.